Welcome officially. January masterclass. Great to be with you. It's all about how do you generate more referrals, more word of mouth, more clients from your networks, and in particular, your LinkedIn profile. Because LinkedIn, hey, it's the world's largest free database. And anyone that you need either as a referral source, as a client, or someone who can open doors for you, you can find right there. And people, unfortunately, don't have a plan or don't have a system in how to do it in a way that will actually grow their business. And that's what I want to be able to help you with and be able to change for you. Okay, so where are we going today? What are we going to do? Let me just quickly take you through our little timeline today. So, first thing that we are looking at is simply how to view LinkedIn. Like for most people, they view LinkedIn as a social media platform. I want to change that because it shouldn't be used as a social media platform. There is so much more that we can do when we see it as a black book of contacts rather than just simply, oh, it's another social platform. I've got to post content. Okay. So that's where I'm going to start and change our thinking around what actually LinkedIn is. From there, I want to just come over and just do a little bit around the marketing systems you need, no matter what your business is. It's exactly the same around being able to attract, around being able to nurture and educate, around being able to convert. So I'm just going to quickly draw that out for you. Uh, no one does anything with you, whether to become a client, whether to pass you referrals, whether to open doors for you, unless you have the ability to be able to build a bond, to be able to build trust, to be able to build connection. I'm going to show you how to do it super fast because it doesn't take days. It doesn't even take weeks. Like you can literally build bond, trust, connection instantly with people when you understand a little bit around human behavior and how our brain works. Then I'm going to actually draw out this LinkedIn system. We call it being able to connect, converse, and grow. Now, yeah, I could get straight to the system. You won't know how to use it properly unless we do these other bits beforehand. Okay? Because it's these other bits that are actually going to make sure that you can use it properly. Uh, yeah. So I mean, at the moment, you're viewing my iPad and I'm just drawing out on it. So as long as you're seeing me draw, then you are absolutely in the right spot. Okay, that's our time frame for today. I'm going to get you done before the hour's finished. And as I said, I want you to be able to walk away with a whole system. Right. Okay. If you can't see the iPad, can I just get other people thumbs up or a nod if you're seeing me draw? Let's just make sure it's not at my end. So can you see where I draw things out? Yeah, good. I've got a whole bunch of all goods. So Simon, you just might maybe there's another screen or another maybe you've got to flick across depending on what you're watching it on. So let me see how you go. I'm recording it also, so hopefully if you can't see it, the recording will work for you. Okay? So let's go. What do you use LinkedIn for? Well, for the majority of people, at the tip of the iceberg, as I said, they see it as this social media platform. And what do we do on social media platform? We post content because we want to get seen. The more we put stuff up, hopefully the more people see our name. Maybe they're going to look at our stuff and eventually they're going to become our clients. Yeah, that's what social media is used for. But I want us to go deeper. Okay? Underneath the tip of the iceberg, what people tend to now see is, hey, LinkedIn is a great lead generation platform. And sure, it is. I'm sure you get the same messages as me. Hey, I can get you 30 appointments, 60 appointments the next month, 100 appointments. And sure, if you just message enough people saying, this is what we do you want to talk to me? Of course, you're going to get enough appointments. The only problem is they don't know you, let alone like you, let alone can trust you. So therefore, the sale to those people is so much harder than if you already had connection, trust, and bond with them. So when I take this and we go, okay, if at the very top shallow levels, LinkedIn's a social media platform, and we want to bring it all the way down here into this sort of profound way of thinking, I want us to see LinkedIn as this black book of contacts. Okay? I want us to see LinkedIn as your own $1 million network. Because honestly, it's not just saying $1 million network. You should be able to create $1 million worth of business from your networks every single year when you do what we're about to come through and do. Okay? So change your thinking around LinkedIn as just a place I get seen in content to LinkedIn is every single person I have there, I actually have the ability to create a relationship, to create opportunities, and to be able to do business with each other. And that doesn't mean sell. It might mean they become your client, but it also might mean that they can pass you referrals. It also might mean that they can open doors for you, or they simply just talk about you to the people that they know in their networks. See, there's so many different ways that people can help you when you've got that way of thinking. Okay? So this black book of contacts, I know right now, probably isn't as great as what you want it to be. Because in the early days, hey, we all had either different past lives where we just connected to people, or we just went, oh, I've got to get to 500 or 1,000 or 5,000 as fast as I can. I'll just connect to anybody. Where right now you probably go, I actually don't really want to speak to that person. And that's fine, because you can always remove connections. But from this day forward, you're going to concentrate on creating this key network of yours. Because as I said, LinkedIn's the world's largest free database, and everyone you need sits there right now. So let's take it a step further. And we go, great, who do I want in my black book? Who do I want in my networks? Well, obviously, the first people that you want are potential clients. You definitely want them within your network. The next people you want in your network are what we call referral sources, referral partners, people who sell to the same people you sell to and you don't compete with each other. So when you think about, okay, I do this, who else does my client buy from? They're all great referral sources. They should be within your networks. You'll probably come across a whole bunch of people who are just great door openers. They know people. They're happy to share people with you. You want them within your network. And you want people in your network that are support members. Hey, they might never pass you referrals. They might never be a client. They might not open doors for you, but you know that they're a great support person for you. And you want them in your network too. So that's what your network, your black book should be made up of. If you are only ever thinking about, I need to put in clients, then in the end, you're just missing out. You're leaving money on the table. And it's so much harder to constantly just have to sell to your networks rather than build relationships and create opportunities with your networks. So when we look at marketing's the same. No matter what business you're in, the first thing you have to be able to do is you have to be able to attract. You have to be able to build an audience of the people who need what it is that you do. Okay? So to be able to do that, you've got to be able to go and find them. Now, plenty of ways to be able to go find them. You can turn up to networking events, expos, conferences. You can run ads to those people. You can be in publications. You can do sponsorships. So there's lots of ways that you can build an audience. What LinkedIn allows you to do is build an audience of your exact ideal person every single day where you get to connect and start the relationship with them. Because that's all attract is to bring the right people in front of you. At this point in time, hey, they don't know much about you. They certainly don't know anything about your business. They certainly don't know how you could make their life better. That happens when you come up to nurture and educate. Always the next bit. Once someone comes in front of you, the next thing you need to do is to be able to create connection, create trust, show them how you can make their life better. And that takes place in this middle section where you educate and you nurture. So you might do things such as content. Content is not a client getting thing. Content is a nurture and educate piece. You might send out value emails to your CRM, to your database. You might run activities that they can come and join in on. But the things that you do in this section are very different to the attract section. The attract is all about getting the right people in front of you. This is where, to me, the real fun happens. Because this is where you build bond, connection, trust, and you get to be able to serve and help in ways that are going to make their life better. The better you do that, the faster someone can actually say to themselves, you know what? I actually think Robin might be able to help me. Adam might be able to help me. You know what? I actually think that Dave might actually be able to solve this for me. And that's what you need your person to be able to say. So from there, it is about, well, is there a fit? People in sales will call this convert. Right? To me, it's, hey, is there a fit or not? For some people, there's a great fit, and for other people, there's just not a fit. So this is very much about being able to have a conversation around, hey, do you know what? Can I actually serve you or not? And for some people, you can, and for others, you can't. But that is marketing. There's nothing else to it. Other than you now need to go, okay, great. How am I going to attract? How am I going to nurture and educate? And then how am I going to take those people, get them to be able to raise their hand and say, you know what, I think you might be able to help me. So you can have a conversation with those people and see how you might be able to make their life better. So when you think of your business, you need to be thinking, how am I doing each of those blocks? Because they're not just one thing. Most people just go marketing and sales as this one thing. It's not. They're very distinct sections that make up your marketing. Okay? So I think that's really important because the system we're going to show you here, it does all three things in one. And that's really important that whatever you choose to do, you understand you've got to do all three things. Okay? So where do you sit right now in LinkedIn? Okay? Maybe you just aren't doing anything on there, and that's okay. And this is to help you kickstart where you've gone, you know what? It's a platform I should be using. I'm actually not using it at all. So you might actually be off the charts down here as a very limited user. Perfect. At least you're going to be able to jump from there up to the right zone straight away. Okay? There's other people who are what we call in the numbers game. What do those people do? Well, generally, those people are just sending cold emails. Hey, this is what I do. I think you need our help. Come buy from me. Or they're sending copy and paste messages, hoping that simply if they hit enough numbers, they will get people. It's like going knocking on doors. It works. It's like cold calling. It works. It's just exhausting. Okay? So for most of us, service professionals that rely on referrals, that rely on word of mouth, that rely on our networks, it's not enjoyable for us. It's actually probably the last thing we feel like doing. Okay? So then we move up to what we call the exposure game. And I reckon this is where the majority of people sit. Because what they focus on is they focus on posting content. Not a bad idea. It gets you seen. The only problem with posting content is the algorithm says, I'll only show that to about 1 to 2% of your network. And that's it. Because no different to any other social platform, we want you to pay to play. So you could have a network of 1,000 people. I can guarantee you only about 30, 40, 50 of those people are actually seeing your content. So how do you increase that? Well, when you start liking and commenting on other people's posts, you're going to get seen by more people. But again, the only problem is you're only seeing a select few people within your networks to be able to like and comment on. And how much time does that take every day to be able to like and comment, just to simply get yourself seen, hoping that they click on your profile, they see what it is that you do, and then they say, oh, you know what? I actually need that. It's why the exposure game grows the business, but it grows it so slowly because there's a lot of things that actually have to go right for someone to go, you know what? Yes, I need you. So let's move up into the engagement game. So the engagement game is about being able to get into conversations, to be able to get into chats. Now, every day, LinkedIn actually tells you whose birthday it is, who's got a work anniversary, who's changed jobs. All you have to do is go onto your LinkedIn, go to My Network, go to catch-ups, and there they all are. They're sitting there for you. So it's telling you who you should be messaging today. And just because they're on my screen here, I could simply go, hey, Helen, wishing you a fantastic birthday. I hope you have a great day. And then Helen will probably say, thanks, Michael. And then I'll probably say, not a problem at all. So the only problem with the engagement game is that we end up in nice chit-chat. We don't need nice chit-chat. It's certainly more powerful than just posting content because at least now you are in a conversation with them. They might have never seen your posts before because the algorithm didn't show it to them. As soon as you send them a message, I guarantee now your posts also show up because the algorithm has just said, oh, these two are talking to each other. I better show them the content. So it improves your content rate also by being in conversations. But I want to take this further because conversations isn't about having nice chit chat. Conversations is about being able to invite and ask. So it's conversations with purpose. I'm going to show you the difference and how to make sure that you have conversations with purpose. Okay? So when you get into conversations, here's a quick example of the difference. Hey, Helen, wishing you a fantastic birthday. Hope you have a great day ahead. And then Helen says, thanks, Michael. Really appreciate it. And then I would say, not a problem at all. I'm just making this up, Helen, so just stay with me. Helen's over in Toronto in Canada. And I go, must be super cold over there. Probably not a place for me right now. I'm really enjoying the beach. And then Helen would respond, yeah, it was only minus 30 the other day. Couldn't go to work because we couldn't get through the snow. Now we're deepening bond building relationships. And then from there, we're going to talk about business. Hey, how's everything going? Did you get much of a break over the Christmas period? No, I worked through. Any great plans for 2025? And then when we go back and forth and we get curious about each other's business, I could then end up saying, hey, not sure if this would be of interest. We're actually got a masterclass coming up in a couple of weeks showing people how to XYZ. Let me know if you'd like to come. See how we've just gone from nice chit chat to actually having a conversation that has an opportunity for growth. Now, Helen might not be a potential client, but Helen might be a great referral source. So therefore, after we've talked about business, I might say, hey, Helen, should we jump on Zoom, see how we might be able to find each other more referrals? Growth conversations. Every conversation should have a growth focus to it. And when we have a growth focus to it, your network becomes super valuable to you. Rather than you looking at messages going, do I have to speak to them? Because if you look at a message today and you go, I really don't want to speak to them, remove them from your network. And that's really easy. You just simply go to their profile, you click on the three dots, you click on more, and you click remove connection. and you tidy up your network every opportunity you get. Okay? So, where do you sit right now? Just throw it in the chat box for me. Are you in the red zone, the yellow zone, the green zone? Just put the color in there. Where do you sit right now? Good. Lots of yellows, couple of reds. Love it. Doesn't matter where you are because you're about to learn how to get into the green. Hey, perfect. So we've got a whole bunch of yellows, whole bunch of reds. Maybe the odd one coming into the green. But let's look at it. How are we going to get ourselves into that green? Before we do that, as you've probably guessed, LinkedIn is not about content. LinkedIn is about conversations. Anything good that you want to happen with your business, whether it is I want to create a sale, or I want to create more referrals, or I want more people talking about my business, or I want more exposure for my business, right? They're probably the key things that we all want. Well, you've got to talk to people. I know it's old-fashioned, but business is always about talking to people. So what you've got your hands on here is the ability to be able to talk to more people more often without having to be salesy and without having to feel awkward. So let's dive into it. How do you build bond, trust, connection really fast? Because you don't want to be in conversations for weeks and weeks and weeks before someone gets to know you or like you or trust you. So really interesting, two parts of the brain that we're going to focus on here. The first part is the red brain, the cortex part of the brain, the logical part of the brain. Okay? It's understanding what I'm saying. It's going, that makes lots of sense. It's your survival brain. It's there to make sure you survive, and therefore you mind map things out, and therefore you have a process for things. Therefore, you'd like things to be systemized. But unfortunately, that part of the brain does not control human behavior. It doesn't control our decisions. It is the green part of the brain that does that. Now, you might have heard from salespeople, red brain, green brain. You can't be in red brain language. You've got to be in green brain language. People buy off emotion and they justify with logic. Well, the reason why all that happens is simply because these two parts of the brain. So the idea when you're in conversations with people is focusing on how do you make them feel. Not trying to get your point across, not trying to make sure they understand about your business, but making them feel good. Now, that's going to feel strange to begin with if you're not used to doing it. But in the end, the more, and you know this, the more someone cares about you, the faster they become your client. Now, we might think that it's got to do with our whiz-bang gadget, or because we've got this special offering, or because we're unique in this way, and that's all great, but it's not. They decided to become your client because the way you made them feel. How many times has a client said to you, I don't know what it was, it just felt right? It's exactly this. They don't know what it is. They can justify it with whatever language they want to justify it with. But it is always how they felt that makes the difference. So if you want more referrals, if you want people to talk about you more often, if you want them to go, you know what, I actually think that Robin might be able to help me. The only way they can do that is when they feel a connection with you. Now, that doesn't have to take long. What you've got to focus on is brain chemicals. Just really quickly, I'm not getting into a neuroscience lesson here, but I think it's really important. 4 brain chemicals, 3 really good ones, 1 really negative one. Cortisol, negative brain chemical. The stress chemical, the annoyance chemical. We probably create this in other people more often than what we even realize. Right? We want to avoid that. We want dopamine when it's fun and exciting. We want oxytocin, the love chemical. That's actually what builds trust and bond, is when we have oxytocin with each other. If you're in any sort of relationship with any other person, it's because you have oxytocin with them. How do you create oxytocin? Share, personal, closeness. That's what creates connection, that creates likability, that creates trust. Serotonin, it's fun, it's exciting. Banter with your other people, laugh with them. So when you do those sorts of things, and we should be doing them with our clients all the time if we want them to be clients forever and raving fans. But when we do those sorts of things with our networks, it's amazing how quickly your networks will help you or want to work with you. And therefore, this becomes a centerpiece to a system. I can show you the system. We're about to do that next. But if you don't put green brain thinking, if we don't focus on how I'm going to make them feel in your conversations, then you are just simply going to be boring. And why do I need to talk to another boring person? I've got enough of them in my life. That's what your people are thinking. So be different, stand out. Rightio. Let's keep this moving into the system. Bit of a wonky drawing. So let's do this. Let's go again. The first thing is connect. You've got to put the right people into your black book. Really simple. So every single day, you can go on to LinkedIn and you can go connect. You do it about 100 times a week. So firstly, you've got to be clear on who do you want in there. And then secondly, you use the filters and you go and connect with them. You could also do this offline. Anyone I talk to offline that I want in my black book, I will make sure I connect with them on LinkedIn. Because then it tells me when it's their birthday, when it's their work anniversary. It prompts me to make sure that I'm going to stay engaged with them. So anyone that you want in your world, connect with them if you meet them offline. Okay? If you meet them at a networking event, if you meet them at an expo, if you meet them wherever, connect with them. And now you're creating your black book. Remember, this is your audience. That's the attract part. So from there, what we want to make sure that we do is that we can get into conversations. I'm going to show you the conversation flow matrix really soon because that's key. But how do I get into conversations? Well, there's a couple of different ways that we can do that. Every time someone connects with you, you can send them a message. Hey, Alison, thanks so much for connecting. Look forward to learning more about you and your business down the track. Have a great day. Milestones. We talked about them. They're called catch-ups. You go to My Network, go to catch-ups, and it tells you whose birthday it is, whose work anniversary it is, whose job change it is. So you've got milestones which allow you to get into conversations. Your current first degree connections, you should be sending messages to. So you might be going interstate and you look up everyone in your first degree connections who's in that state to send them a message. Hey, first name, I'm actually up in San Francisco later in March. Just thought I'd reach out to my LinkedIn connections to see if they'd like to catch up. First degree connection messages. To all of your first degree connection messages could have been happy Christmas, happy holiday season, happy new year. First degree connections to all of your accountants come the end of financial year. Could be something like, hey, first name, whew, you made it through another financial year. Hope you're doing well. Don't just have this black book of people that you don't ever converse with. Remember, the more conversations you have, the more opportunities your business will have to grow. You could simply, just through your posts on your news feed, you find someone's post on your news feed, you love their post, you send them a message. Hey, first name, thanks for sharing that post. It was really insightful. See, lots of different ways to be able to get into conversations. So you don't have to be doing the douchebag way of just simply going, hi, I thought I'd reach out. We know where that's going. It's going to be ignored 99% of the time. Or you don't have to do the copy and paste. I'm putting on this event, thought you might like to come. Here's the details. Click the link. No. See, there's a formula to how you actually have conversations, right? It's what we probably spend 50, 60% of our time on with our clients, because the conversations part is by far the toughest bit for people, because they're so stuck in their red brain. To be able to get out of your red brain and get into your green brain just for conversations is so important. But the first thing that has to happen is that you have to appear. So that could be a birthday message. It could be a connection message. It could be a post message. It could be doesn't matter what, but you've got to appear. They're either going to answer you and talk back or they're not. Doesn't matter. The ones that talk back, we're going to move into the second stage, which is deepen the bond. And the whole purpose of deepening the bond is personal. It's about being able to create trust, connection, little bit of bond. So you don't go straight into business. How's business going? I can't think of a worse question. So don't use the question. But the deepen bond stage is personal. Find something on their profile. Find something in their last post. Maybe it's someone that you actually have met before. Talk about that. From there, the third stage is business curiosity. Learn about their business. Learn about who they help. Learn about what they do. Learn about who their ideal clients are. Because from there, you can now invite or ask. It's never a tell. Like, as kids growing up, we're always told to do stuff, weren't we? So it's anchored in us to rebel against being told what to do. So don't do it to other people. Invite and ask. Ask. Hey, I was just thinking about this. Would you like to come? Just thinking, we've got the same sort of networks. Maybe there's ways that we can promote each other. Should we jump on Zoom? There are far better ways of being able to ask rather than simply saying, I'm doing this. You should come. Here's the link. You have no idea what's going on right now in my world or my business. Why should I come? Okay. So that is the conversation flow. The first part, we just call these campaigns, allow you to appear. And then once you appear, you can now keep the conversation going so that eventually you get to an invite and ask. Now, how long does that take? Oh, it could literally take minutes. Sometimes it takes longer because they've left the message and they'll come back a day later or 2 days later. And then you'll pick up the message. But most of the time, We spend a couple of back and forths in deepen the bond. We spend a couple of back and forths in business curiosity, and we get to an invite and ask, because that's what helps you to be able to get into growth conversations. Like that's what this is about, to be able to have more growth conversations. Okay? If you just do these two things, that's fine, but you're in the nice chit chat zone. We don't want to be in that. Doesn't grow your business. It builds you great relationships. It gets you front of mind. They're positive things, but it doesn't grow your business as fast as it should. So we've got to get over to the invite and ask. So what sort of things do we invite and ask to? Because remember, connect, that was converse, and now we're up to grow. So to be able to grow, there's a couple of things that we want to be able to do, depending on what they are. So in your conversation, you're going to work out, are they a referral source? Are they a door opener? Are they a potential client? And you want to be able to have a bunch of different things that you can invite and ask on. So if someone's a door opener or a referral source, to me, it's just simply, hey, should we jump on Zoom and see how we might be able to collaborate? If they're a potential client, then it might be, hey, we've got this free guide around your pain point. Would you like a copy? We've got this particular free masterclass. Would you like to join us? Because the only way to know if they have the pain point that you solve is by inviting them to something that's going to actually allow them to go, you know what? That might be able to help me. Because nobody came here today going, just can't wait to hang out with Michael. Right? They came here because they want to use LinkedIn better. They want more referrals. They want better word of mouth. They want to grow their client base. And therefore, this possibly could have been the way. And that's what you need to make sure you've got in place too. Something that allows them to look at the title, to look at the thing and go, yeah, what? That might actually be able to make my life better. I'm going to go and check it out. So now what has happened? You've taken someone from your black book to be able to go, yes, I'm interested in how you might be able to make my life better. By just simply being in conversations and following a really simple conversation flow. Rather than how most people have to do it, where they're simply connect, I do this, do you need help? And if they don't, what have you just done to the relationship? Gone. Right? Okay, that's tough. Because you know yourself, life changes all the time. Priorities change. What you're focused on in your business changes. You go on roller coasters month after month, year after year. And just because someone doesn't need you now doesn't mean they won't need you in 90 days, in 6 months, in 12 months. So you definitely want the relationship so that you're constantly front of mind. Okay? So when we look at this as an overall system, what we are simply having to do, break it down, connect. Great. Every day we need to put new people into our black book, into our audience. Okay? So you can filter, go to your LinkedIn and go connect, 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 connect. You don't need a fancy message. You definitely don't want to use the, I see we've got lots of people in common. No, keep it short, keep it sweet. Hey, Robin, it'd be great to connect. Robin's either going to go yes or no. Doesn't matter. So that's the first thing that needs to take place. The second thing that needs to take place is that you need to run, let's call them campaigns, run campaigns to appear. Because that's the first step. You're never in a conversation unless somebody talks back to you. So you have to run campaigns to appear. Birthday messages, post messages, connection messages, work anniversary messages, etc. That makes you appear. Once you do that, you then follow the conversation flow to invite or ask. So connected to build your people. You've now appeared, you've got into conversations. Now you deepen bond, you get curious about their business, you get to invite and ask. So from there, the grow part is have some sort of free guide, have some sort of masterclass, workshop, event that allows you to be able to understand who's warm and who's not. That's what those things do. Otherwise, you are in a conversation, and at the end of the conversation, you just simply go, been great talking, thanks. Defeats the purpose. So, really simple 4 steps there. Just quickly throw into the chat box for me. Biggest takeaway so far for you? Just throw that into the chat box. Biggest takeaway so far for you? Is it in the conversation flow? Is it how to appear? Is it around the red brain, green brain? Good. So here we go. Conversation flow, clarity, how to converse. Great. Green brain in the invite and ask. Yeah, good. Good. Loving it. Converse with birthdays, work anniversaries, etc. Yeah, good. A system to work with. Good. Yeah, time to do it. Yeah. So realistically, you could connect, like you can't connect to more than about 25, 30 people a day. So if you had the right filters, you could easily spend 5 minutes to do that. So to converse and create appear campaigns, 10, 15 minutes. The majority of your time should be in following the flow with people. So possibly an hour you could get away with each day to be able to do this really, really well. And even doing it for half an hour is going to get you better results than what probably you're doing right now. Right? So how do we help speed this up? Well, we've got software that plugs into a person's LinkedIn profile. So our software automatically connects every single day to their ideal people, so they don't have to do that. We've got software that runs the campaigns, the birthday campaigns, the greeting campaigns, the first engagement campaign, so they don't ever have to appear. All our clients have to do is follow the conversation flow. We make sure that software is running over this side to save them 3-4 hours a week. And then over at this side, we teach them how to do the conversation flow properly. We make sure that we create a invite ask, whether that be a master class or a guide with them. And we make sure they understand how to constantly turn conversations into opportunities. So you can go and get this done. As I said, everything is there for you to be able to do. If saving time or getting deeper into how do I turn conversations into opportunities is something you want to explore, it's really easy because there's nothing taking place right now other than you're going to just simply send an email to me, support@michaelgriffiths.com.au, and just simply put on that email, demo, please. And I'll walk you through the software and I'll walk you through how it looks and what it does and the members area and the different sorts of things that we have. And that'll give you complete understanding of what takes place and how we can save you time and help you grow your client base month after month after month. But right now, that might not be a thing for you. What might be a thing for you is, hey, let me just go and run with this. I haven't been using my LinkedIn at all. I can understand now, black book, get my network right, start getting into conversations with people. And then as soon as you're ready to take it to a different level, hey, we're here. Right? On average, our clients will get sort of between 4 to 7 new clients a month. They're in 20 plus conversations every single day. Yes, that sounds overwhelming. It's not when you know the flow and you've got a whole bunch of scripts and templates and text replacements to be able to plug in. And in the end, they can turn the tap on and off whenever they want. Okay. So as I said, you've got a system there to be able to use. You've got step by step what you can be able to do. You've got a conversation flow that you can follow. So everything you need to be successful in terms of turning your LinkedIn into a black book and getting more referrals, getting more word of mouth, increasing your client base is right here. If you want some help, if you want to understand how we can help and see if there's even a fit, then support@michaelgriffiths.com.au and just shoot me an email that says, hey, demo please, was on the masterclass, love a demo, and we'll jump on and we'll get that done together. But otherwise, questions, anything you want to share, anything you want to ask, anything I didn't cover that you came on and went, you know what, I have to know this. I've had this problem forever and I want to be able to change it. Throw it in the chat box for me. Otherwise, good, what's the best way to filter? So, yeah, good. So I sort of start an activity going, great, who are your potential clients? The more specific you can be, the better. If they were walking around with a little sticky label on their head, what would that label say? It might say that they're a CEO. Maybe Kylie, just quickly throw in the chat box what you do for who, and I'll be able to help more. But the label might say CEO. It might say director, HR consulting. Okay, perfect. So I'm assuming you're sort of working with, say, businesses. So you might go business owner that has 11 to 50 staff. That might be your target. Or it might be 1 to 10 staff. Or it might be 200 or more staff. But the more specific you can be in terms of being able to have that sticky label on their head, there's all of those filters there. Business owner, director, CEO, CFO, COO, CMO, depending on what your title is, they're all there for you to be able to work out. Just get really specific in terms of where and where those people are. You find those filters, it's easier to do it on the desktop, and you'll be able to find the filters in there when you go to search. Okay. Dav, what do you suggest as a content plan? Yeah, good. So if you post twice a week, because without a doubt, people are going to go and look at your profile when you send them a message. Has to, just the way it happens. So your profile gets views, get increased out of sight when you send conversation messages to other people. So I read post twice a week. Keep it story focused and keep it about making their life better. Think about, okay, is this going to make their life better? So regularly when I share, it is a tip. It's an insight. It is how we did something with a client that you can do too. It's not about us. Every now and then we'll throw in something around, hey, this is how we can help you. But the majority of the time, we focus on telling a story to be able to try to make their life better, try to change their thinking maybe a little bit, try to show them that there's a different way to the way they're doing it right now. That tends to be what our content is about. As I said, you don't need it more than twice within a week. That's plenty. Okay. What level of LinkedIn do you need to drill down to these filters? So there's pretty much three levels of LinkedIn. There's free, that definitely has filters. There's premium, it has some more. Sales Navigator has the most. If the only thing is for the filters, it's not worth paying the couple $100 a month, and even premiums like nearly $100 a month to just be able to get those filters. There's enough filters in the free to make it to be able to get the sorts of people that you want. The people who tend to need more filters are really sort of very niche orientated businesses or more recruitment type businesses. So just have a play around. And LinkedIn has some great support documents too. If you just go, how do I use the filters on LinkedIn as a Google search? I think you'll find some useful things that might be able to help you also. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for jumping in, joining us. Really appreciate you coming and joining us. Kerry, thank you. You've been with us before and you've come back. So thank you for coming and joining us again. Otherwise, hey, have an amazing day, evening, night, wherever you happen to be in the world. We'll get this recording out to you and look forward to catching up with you real soon. Otherwise, thank you all and talk soon. Take care, all.